In today's Take a Day, I want to talk about one player on the Clippers that can have a surprising impact towards their future going into this regular season. Now, before we get into that, though, please like, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you get the newest and the bonus content first. We put out content every day, so you don't miss any content here. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into this. So Justice Winslow, to me, is not only a surprise for the Clippers, but also a mystified type player for the Clippers. Now, I've looked at Justice Winslow throughout his career so far. He's been a solid player. You know, he hasn't averaged no more than about 10 points, maybe 5-6 rebounds a game, maybe like 2 assists, on a good season. And, he's a solid player. He's one of those guys who can bring a lot of, strength and, defense to a team. Because I thought he fit right in with Miami. He played good defense, and he was a rugged type defender. He's not a great defender, but he's one of them type of guys who don't mind getting their hands dirty, if you know what I mean. And those type players always usually find themselves on good teams and good situations where they have an opportunity to win. And so far, Justice Winslow's career, he hasn't been on too many winning situations. But in Miami, they did have a pretty good team there. So, he knows what it's like to be in a winning environment. He comes from Duke. And like I said, Miami did make it to the finals a couple seasons ago. So, he definitely has been around teams that have had winning cultures and things like that. So I feel like, one thing, him being the player that he is in regards to a lot of people not knowing where he is, with his game or how far he can take it. He is a surprising type pickup for the Clippers. And I wonder, what they saw in Justice Winslow to acquire him and pick him up and add him to the team. So when I think about the impact that he could make, it's going to have to be predominantly on the defensive end, because I feel like he can make some good passes here and there. But defense is going to be really his main key to helping the Clippers succeed, because when they need a big, strong body to throw on, maybe another body to throw at LeBron or, another superstar player who's not afraid to go out there and defend and play that superstar like he's a regular player or like he's an all-star, that's the type of player Justice Winslow can be. And I feel like that's going to serve the Clippers a lot of value going into this season, because they're going to need all the defensive prowess they can get, because they're missing the Claw, which is probably arguably the best defender in the league, if you ask me, on both ends of the floor. We know how great Kawhi is, but his defense is definitely one of the staples that stands out in his game. And when you lose a player like him, you're going to have to make up for a lot of what he does defensively. And I feel like Justice Winslow is going to make an impact with the Clippers, and is mainly going to be on the defensive side, because he's not a good shooter and he's not really a good scorer. He has his moments where he can score some, but it's mainly like garbage points, putbacks, things like that, and maybe knock down a jumper here and there if he's wide open. But offense is not something that any Clipper fans should be looking for from him going into this season. But I do believe he can come out there and contribute and get close to somewhere between 6 to 8 points a game whenever he's logged into the game, and he can give you a couple rebounds and a couple assists, and he can get a couple of steals, because he's definitely, feisty on defense, and he's crafty about how he plays. So I do feel like he can make an impact on this team. I just don't know how much of an impact but he can make. But at the same time, I feel like he's one of them players that can find his way on a team like this just because of Ty Lue. Ty Lue gets the best out of every player he has. He's done it so far, whether it was on Cleveland when he won a championship there, or whether it's on this team, just by what we saw from last year in the playoffs. So, getting the best out of a player is something Ty Lue is good at. And I feel like if Justice Winslow has another window, or if he has another gear in him, I feel like Ty Lue will be able to get that out of him and be able to put him in position so he can play to his strengths. And I feel like that's the one good thing Ty Lue does better than almost any coach in the league. Let players play, but put them in position to play at their best, what their strength is. And I feel like if Justice Winslow has another gear or a strength or another superpower, we're going to see it more on the offensive end this year than we did probably any other season. because now he's on a team that can make a run for a championship, but they're missing their main guy to do so. So a lot of his services on defense is going to be needed. And, he can bring a little bit of the, like I said, feistiness on defense, along with, maybe some good passing and, taking opportunities to score when they're there for him, So I feel like that's what he can bring to the team. And I feel like if he adds any offense, that's just an additional piece. That's an additional, product that the Clippers are going to have. Because to me, by adding Justice Winslow, not only you're adding somebody who wants to win or who has the mentality of winning, who comes from a winning culture, who has basketball IQ, he just needs the right coach to help him develop. And what better coach than Ty Lue? So, adding depth like him definitely couldn't hurt, but we're going to have to see how, it really fares for the regular season and what he really can provide for the Clippers, because he is a name that's like kind of being whispered and not really being talked about. But he has been in the NBA long enough to be a part of a team and actually help a team, do something and make a run and, be a part of the operation of what they're trying to do. And I feel like, like I said, and especially in the playoffs, the defense that he can provide and the way he moves and the way he, moves on the floor and everything and, go through picks and screens and, all the little things that he does, I feel like it's definitely going to help the Clippers as part of the bench mob coming off the bench and giving them more depth in that way. But hey, leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about Justice Winslow, and you think he can make an impact for the Clippers, and in what type of way do you think he can? Leave any comments as always, as we always do. And hey, Cali out.